Hello, Smite fans, and welcome to a very special broadcast of the OCL, the Oceanic Console League. We are in week number 2, only a week behind the OPL in the PC region. So, before we go into any more details about Citadel Gaming versus Tilt for our first game today, introducing my co-host, a new face here in the casting desk. We have Roxold now, very in-depth with the console players, I would have to say. So he's going to provide a lot of in-depth for us. So, Citadel versus Tilt. I mean, what are your feelings going into the match here, Roxold?
Going into the match, I'd say Citadel, the veteran team. They played last split. They've got pretty much a good core. And Tilt are the newcomers at the console scene, if you didn't know. They're completely new. None of the players are from last split, so I'm keen to see how they fare against the veterans.
And Citadel as well, they've actually changed up a few members of their roster since we saw them in that first week. Do you mind giving us a quick rundown of their new lineup?
Yeah, sure. A real quick rundown is Citadel lost their mid and their ADC. Wouldn't say lost. And they picked up the mid and ADC of an old team called Example. And Chappie is the ADC. And Panic, mid laner. They're both top tier, in their respective role. There's no real loss here for the side of Citadel. They also lost their jungler Zakaya, though. He got lured into the PC scene. That's the only hard hit to Citadel, but I think they're still pretty top tier.
No doubt. People know Example from the grand finals. Going into picks and bans in just a second here. Chappie plays extremely aggressive. We've seen him play in lane. And also Panic, I believe he got a pentakill playing Scylla. So expect a lot of things to come from Panic in the mid lane for Citadel Gaming. Definitely a strong roster. Not a loss at all, as you've said. So Scylla, first ban here for Citadel Gaming.
Yeah, Scylla's a pretty standard ban on console, I'd say. It's pretty threatening on PC, but on console, Scylla's really favored. Ao Kwang also banned, as you see on the side of Tilt. S+, no matter where you play him, or where you play him. In the jungle, Ao Kwang's S+, no matter what console, what platform.
No doubt. A very formidable opponent to verse in that jungle role. Another fairly console ban is that Odin. No one really wanted to be playing him. Saw him banned quite a lot in that first week. Scylla as well. The accuracy of the Xbox players or the console players in general is very high. We saw a lot of big Scylla ultimates coming from the first week, so really banning that away. Expect a few more of these better mid laners to be banned out. Of course, Raijin is banned. You don't want to be playing against the Raijin in this current meta.
No, exactly. First pick actually going to Citadel here. They could look to pick up possibly a Giannis, Athena, Khepri, whatever they really feel like here. Still a lot of top tiers on the table.
Yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of support picks, especially that Athena, which is instantly locked in there for Citadel, no doubt. Very strong, even though we did see them. The performance for Athena last week wasn't the best. We saw Crossbay playing a bit of Athena. Didn't work out for him too well, although even sustaining these games, Athena can be really dominant all throughout the game. Tilt also have on the board, they can lock in a Khepri. You've said that Giannis as well. They can also pick up maybe a Hoi Yi. It's going to be an Awilish and a Giannis.
Early game to mid game power spike, as well as the Giannis who can just be a monster all game. Awilix is kind of, I wouldn't say favored. She's just really strong. The feather step's just incredible, especially on console. You hit someone once and you can just instantly delete them.
Now, Bologna and Hoi Yi are locked in for Citadel. That Hoi Yi is definitely going towards Chappie, should I say, and that Bologna, no doubt, is going towards Biz in that solo lane. He plays it so well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Biz has always been the Bologna main, I'd say. Barkus actually picked up on the side of Tilt. I want to point this out because Barkus and Awilish, I kind of really love it, to be honest. It's just disgusting. The knock up into the Awilish ult, it's really great. Second banning phase coming up from Citadel. They should... Oh, Tilt, sorry. Okay. They banned Nox. Yeah. That's kind of odd,
yeah, we haven't really seen a Nox picked or banned forever, I would say. It's been a significant amount of time, should I say, since we've seen a Nox even picked or banned. Guan Yu banned on Citadel, so that's focused towards the solo laner for Tilt. I'm also surprised to see that Barkus was picked up here for Tilt. Geb was open, and Geb also has a knock-up. Not as strong as the belly flop from Barkus, but I think that shield and that cataclysm ult would have been a lot better for Tilt to pick up, but we'll also have to see how that Barkus performs. Thor banned for Tilt, and there's also something that I need to ban on Citadel. look for another knock-up. There's only one knock-up on tilt, so maybe banning away a Vimana. Apollo has
Apollo
that
ban.
dash, so yeah. Apollo ban? Questions?
Not really. I guess they just don't want any split push. Like it's annoying. Like pretty much that's it. Also, global presence seemed to be the theme there. They
Yep.
Giannis with the global presence. Oh, Tilt still get a global present ult, which I guess the banning phase didn't really work for Citadel. But I'd rather have a Neath ult coming in than a full blown ADC flying in from the sky.
Yeah, no doubt. I like the Neath pick here. It's pretty strong in lane, no doubt. It's very, very safe. You can really just walk up, use your spirit arrow, go back. You've also got a backflip, which is on the side because they have an Awilich, they don't have to worry about being pulled. So the Neath, I do like it. Does a lot of damage as well. Neja and Ra are locked in for Citadel Gaming. Now, if the accuracy is correct for the console leagues and they love playing Scylla, expect to see a lot of big Ra ults coming in.
Yeah, definitely. The Naja and Ra combo, it's just, I think it's a beautiful thing to see, like done perfectly. When the Naja comes down, first frame of landing, a Ra snipe, you literally cannot escape that. Like it's free kills.
Free kills indeed. Vimana is the solo laner locked in for Tilt. So again, another knock-up, which is really going to provide a lot of synergy for Tilt paired with that Awilich. We're going into game here in just a second for you guys. So some fairly big lineups here for both of our teams here.
I'd say both teams kind of got the comp that they wanted. Like there's no real loss in pick ban phase. I'd say the veterans of Citadel though should definitely like be able to pull this off. I'd say Bizicle's on his main, Chappie's on a really top tier god, Zutra's on Athena. Like this is scary. If I was Tilt, I'd be scared.
No doubt they have a very strong lineup here going into game here in just a second. Here we are for you guys. So looking at the side of both of our teams here, Tilt have a very strong synergized team here with that focused around that Awilich. That's going to be Dozen Pegasus playing that. It'll be interesting to see how he performs as well. Tilt, considered one of the lowest teams of the OCL, compared against one of the veterans, which are Citadel Gaming, who are currently one of the top teams just behind Paragon, I would say. So it is fairly in favor of Citadel just from their experience, but they do have a lot of synergy with their team comp. We'll have to see how it plays out here, Rox.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to see how the new guys pull off a pretty like extreme synergistic comp. Like you can't afford to let a Barker's belly flop in and then not follow up on it.
No doubt. They're going to have to be really on their game here, Citadel. They've actually started off with the 3 beads here on the Ra, the Hoi and that Neja. So they are prepared and they do know what is going to be coming. But it is a very, very long cooldown on that purification. So there are a lot of things that Dozen Pegasus can do here paired with his team. He can go into solo. He can also go into that duo lane and just really pick beads off if they're on cooldown and just go for an easy kill.
Yeah, I don't like there's a lot of beads picked up, sure. And I think Citadel are the kind of team who will not get caught out that much. So it's kind of risky, going for this high aggression team comp when you're up against, such good players. Another thing to look at though is Panic's playing Ra, which is an extremely safe god. But I'm going to call it that he does work. Like Panic always does a lot of damage and he doesn't really miss that much. Like even though he's on a safe god, I expect aggressive players from Ra.
Yeah, but he also needs to be aware, although he does have a bit of mobility with that passive increasing his movement speed for each ability, he doesn't have a solid escape. I mean, he has that blind from his 2. So, I mean, there's a few things that Panic can do to escape, but also if he does get caught off guard by an Awilich or even that Giannis getting hit by a portal combo, he doesn't really have too much to escape. So he can play aggressive, but he also needs to be aware of who he is versing.
Sort of give a quick shout out to Citadel there again. Awilich was doing the right mid camps by herself, and instead of trying to contest, he said, "You know what? We'll just take the left ones. Like, there's no need to fight this." But
Oh my
goes
gosh!
in really early, gets feather stepped, and that's the 80% of your HP. Like, that's the power of Awilich.
Yeah, red pot Awilich as well. Interesting to see that Giannis hasn't actually picked up a purple pot. She's actually gone for X Kill 88's gone for that Soul Stone and then that Lost Artifact. Could be looking to build into potentially a Doom Orb fairly on after they finish off that Boots. But I would have liked to see, especially paired with that Awilich, a more damagey comp with that Soul Stone and purple pot.
Yeah, definitely. The Soul Stone purple pot with a Awilich with red pot. That could have actually potentially been a kill on all really early there, but nothing coming out of these little skirmishes going on. Other than left lane, Chappie and Zutra have been pushed up this whole time. Like really suspectable to ganks, but no one's gone over there. There's too much attention on this mid lane.
Too much. They really want to try and catch out the Ra. They do know Ra has very low mobility, as I've mentioned. So if they can get an early kill onto that, he's also started off with that purple pot. So if they can catch him off guard and get that early kill, they could really swing him the benefit of tilt early on. Just having a look into our drone lane. Once again, the Barkus and the Neath. I would like to be expecting the Neath to almost be out clearing the aggressive play here from Zutra and Chappie. I mean, that Spirit Arrow paired with the backflip and you can get that explosion. It does a lot of damage. Good taunt coming through, and there's that Sunbreaker as well. Should be first blood here for Chappie as he finds the kill onto the Russian Ranger, who's caught out of his tower there, and a good side swipe gank there for the boys on Citadel.
Yeah, extremely clean. Like, there's not much to that. Like, Zutra said, I have taunt Chappie. Can we kill him? Chappie said, yes. Instantly deleted.
Instantly deleted. Game getting paused out here. 2 DCs coming through. We have XQ and Chappie both DCing here. We'll be back in a second. That'll be coming up. But also, I want to be having a look at the builds. There isn't really anything too out of the ordinary. Having a look at our 2 solo laners, both starting off, actually going for the Death Toll on that Bologna and the Bluestone on that Vamana. They both have fairly solid clear.
Yeah, definitely. I like the Bluestone pickup on Vamana. Like, if he went Death Toll, I would have questioned it a lot. The Death Toll on Bologna, although it does provide extreme sustain, I think she already has enough sustain with her chain, and the Bluestone can provide more bully kind of lane phase. And don't want to be cocky or anything, but Biz going into Super Rocketeer, Biz can afford to be aggressive. He's been playing solo lane exclusively for so long. He should be really confident in this matchup.
But against the Vamana, you don't want to be too cocky. And also, if he tried to play aggressive, he doesn't have beads online. So he also needs to be aware that an Awilix could just come in out of nowhere, catch him off guard while he has low mana like he has right now. Although blue buff will be coming up soon. But again, they need to be so aware. They need to have good ward coverage. And they also need to have good communication of where Dozen Pegasus is at all times. Because even if Biz plays aggressive and tries to go onto Super Rocketeer, it could turn out in Tilt's favor if they just get an easy kill. But also, I've also cancelled out here the combo. We talked about it in picks and bans. The Neja and the Ra combo is also fairly vicious, using that the ultimate on the Searing Pain and on that on the Neja. If they can time that perfectly well, it's also a pretty free kill.
Yeah, it's not a hard combo to hit either. It's safety versus reward, and it's just too easy, really. I think Neja is coming into more popularity as a secondary kind of tier jungler with in the console scene, and I think it's well deserved because I don't know why, but no one really picks Merc, so they just pick Neja instead, just for a safe pick, really.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a Mercury being played more, especially because of the buffs to item changes recently. We've seen Wind Demon getting a buff which increases his the damage he outputs with the passive of that item. Bloodforge as well is picked up on him fairly common. But again, they definitely do have a lot of synergy for both of our teams here. I think that the Neja just works better with the Ra, and we'll have to see later on how their combos are actually played out.
Looks like all players are connected into the game, so hopefully this pause is over extremely soon. I think nearly everyone on the side of Citadel actually disconnected at one point during that, so that was pretty hectic. A big thing to point out. All right, we're getting back into the game. Sorry. Big thing to point out though, as Super Rocketeer's the new mid laner to this, new solo laner to the scene, he actually hit level 5 before Biz, so he's farming incredibly well. Even though it's a safe matchup, I still you got to give him props. It's kind of scary going up against Physical in the solo lane.
Especially on his trump pick, which is Bologna. Now, talking about him and his trump card playing Bologna, does Biz have quite a wide variety god pool in that solo lane? Of course, you would have experience versing him. Is it something you really need to focus ban away that Bologna, or is even if you ban Bologna, he's just going to pick something even more devastating?
I think Biz is the best team fighter in the scene for sure. So if you ban him, ban his god pool because you're afraid of his laning phase, that's not even the scary part about Physical. Late game, he'll destroy you no matter who you can. He just synergizes too well.
Moving on, 4 minutes into this game now. Teleport being forced out on that right side. Biz just showing that pressure, playing that Bellona. Having a look, it's a big invade here through space and time, coming here onto all. And doesn't Pegasus has very, very low mana. There goes that sash, and the Windfire Wheels could be coming up in a second. No, Rocketeer uses that dash to just get away there. And it's a good steal here. I believe that Citadel have actually taken the speed buff and that mana camp away from Tilt, denying any farm and the buffs for the jungler. And that's solo, and that is huge there for Citadel.
Yeah, really well played by Citadel. They got both buffs. They could get, well, they should get both mid camps right now. And while that was going down, there must have been comms or something saying, we've seen them all solo lane. Chappie, go do your thing. Because Chappie was like pretty much ready to dive tower. Once again, playing his over-aggression. It's just good to see that while Citadel can spot out the enemy team, they can say, Chappie, do your thing. Zutra, go in, you know?
Oh, speaking of Chappie doing his thing, look at the damage that he's putting out. There's that Defender of Olympus. We might actually see a solo. There's that ultimate coming down from Zutra, who finds the kill onto Shade. Well made, playing that Neath. A really good play there for Chappie and Zutra, baiting out that Neath. And the beads were used as well.
Yeah, as soon as Neath comes back to lane, with the amount of dominance that Chappie can assert, she should be dead pretty much straight away. Like, oh, Doesn't Pegasus is going in. Beautiful ult by Doesn't Pegasus. Chappie just running around trying to like survive.
Oh, there goes the sun. Chappie, what a kill there from Chappie with the stun from that ricochet and the mark. You couldn't have asked for a more perfect play there. Just gets out on about 20 HP. That is got to be a play right there. That is amazing.
Bet she just calculated. Spamming calculated.
Yeah.
Wasn't scared at all.
Have a look at Ullo in this mid lane. Could be looking to try and catch out X kill there. There's that sash coming through and the beads were used perfectly there. The ultimate doesn't come through just yet. There's that Windfire Wheels and the Searing Pain should be coming through in just a second. Finds the kill onto X Kill. Panic with his first kill of the game. And that's that synergy we were talking about with the Neja and the Ra.
Russian Rang is still going in here with no follow-up from his team. He's overextended. Could be a kill.
But also, Doesn't Pegasus has rotated in. Panic is fairly low here. Misses that Celestial Beam, but everyone gets out. 5 kills already in favor of Citadel, and they're looking very, very strong here. Only 7 minutes into this game, and once again, the ultimate's coming through space and time is a bit too late to try and pinch their own red buff. That's all 3 of the big buff camps taken away from Tilt. I mean, Citadel just bringing the aggression.
Yeah, exactly. Citadel just showing it that they know how to control the map when they're ahead. It's beautiful to see. As you said earlier, all of the major buff camps gone the way of Citadel, and look, speed buffs going away.
They're taking it again. And there isn't anything that they can do because, again, Chappie and Zutra are playing aggressive, forcing 3 members away, and it's another clean sweep. There's that ultimate coming through onto Zutra, but Chappie's going back in. There goes the Suns, looking to go onto Well Made here, but does manage to escape, and so does Zutra. But in the meantime, Ra could be looking to come over here, try and find another kill onto anyone that's fairly low. Russian Ranger looking to go over the wall here, doesn't manage to find anything onto Panic except for that stun. But a good engagement here for Citadel. Once again, they take away the speed buff, they take away the red buff, and they get out with no casualties.
Soloed. That's all I'm going to say. X-Kill just got soloed by all. Overextended. Just kind of a rookie mistake, I'm going to say. They saw that Barkus just went mid to try to poke out the Ra, but there's not much to do. He should have been trying to help his carries right there.
And now, once again, the mid camps are picked up by Citadel. Very much in favor. I want to have a look into the grass. Gold Fury now being started up. Oh my gosh. The grass at this point, 7,000 experience in favor of blue team. That's all those camps being invaded. And already 3.5k gold difference. We're going into a quick pause here in just a second for you guys, as they do pick up the Gold Fury. Gold Fury picked up even more gold, going in favor of Citadel once again. Having a look across the board, I mean, look at every single member of Citadel has a kill. Even Zutra playing that Athena, and no kills picked up for Tilt. It's not looking good for them.
It's a very clean scoreboard, yeah. All positive on one side, all negative on the other. It's kind of a dream if you're in a pro league match. It's exactly what you want on the side of Citadel.
Something that I've also talked about earlier on, it's going to be XKill88 picking up that Doom Orb. Didn't finish off his boots. I would have liked to see the boots finished off before going into Doom Orb, especially if you are behind. Also 0 and 2, that Doom Orb isn't doing anything for him whatsoever, because by the time he farms up those stacks and he dies again in a team fight, he's just lost half of his stacks. 8.5 minutes in, hasn't even finished off his boots yet, and he has 4 stacks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not something you want to be seeing.
No, he should have finished his boots and then gone into the Dynasty Plate Helm for sure. It's like such a safe build, so cost efficient, and there's no risk involved. He's got an extremely risky build, and it's not going to pay off for him. Like, that's just the bottom line. It's not going to work, Xkill. Like, I know that you want to be aggressive and carry maybe, but you need those protections and you need those boots finished quicker.
I think one of the only things that Tilt can really do to come back from this is they've warded up. I mean, no, have a look at the wards. How many wards are on that right-hand side? I'm pausing here in just a second, but look at the ward coverage from Citadel. They have pretty much the entire map. They have all of the jungle covered for Tilt, so they know when the invades are up. They know when they can get those timers. They know where everyone is on the map, and so they can easily get these invades.
Yeah, the key wards I want to look at are actually the entrance to mid lane on the right-hand side. So there's no sneaky Wheelish and Barkus gangs coming through on the right-hand side.
No doubt. Game unpausing here. And also having a look at this. I'm just trying to think of what they can do to come back from this one. Tilt 6-0 are down almost 9 minutes in this game. Gold Fury was taken out. Zutra just manages to escape the grasps of Tilt. And you really want this to be a flawless game. And Zutra just escaping once again for about the second time. Tilt just can't catch a break. They just can't find any kills.
Look at Chappy right here. He's behind Xkill, looking for like aggressive assassin play. It's like a triple bounce on the entire enemy team.
Oh no! And now Xkill might be in a bit of trouble himself. There's a good amount of damage coming provided by the Suns. Through space and time manages to just get him away, but they're still playing aggressive. There's a Searing Pain coming through onto the Barkers, but doesn't find too much, and the Russian Ranger might fall down in a second. Chappy finds his 3rd kill of the game, and now Pegasus has to be forced to back away, and Biz has rotated into the team fight here. It's going to be should be an easy tier 1 tower as the next wave of minions are approaching. In the meantime though, take the tier 1, but Neith hasn't done anything. She hasn't even ulted over for her team. Shade well made, really making that global ult fairly useless. Hasn't been using it this game.
Yeah, that should have been like, you have to trade those scenarios, even though like, you know, you just got wiped. Well, not wiped, you know, you lost 2 kills. Shade well made didn't even try to hit the tower at all. Like, I understand it's scary because the team's coming back in. Actually, if we look, Super Rocketeer's really deep right now.
Deep into the jungle of Zutra, and Panic forced to back away though, and again backing under the safety of his team. Already down 7 kills are Tilt 10 minutes into the game. And again, look at the invade coming through from Citadel, denying all farm whatsoever for Tilt, so they can't even get basic taunts coming down. There's and the taunt just missing, and so does the ricochet. Chappy and Zutra not on top of their game there, knowing that, I mean, the purification was up, but missing both abilities. Bit of a misplay for Citadel. They're first of the game, really.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to be a bit lenient. Like, that's the first thing they've kind of screwed up.
Yeah,
Chappy going for
true.
a crazy ricochet there. I don't know what he was going for. That's a lot of damage actually coming out of Neith. Like, that's a decent chunk from Spirit Arrow right there.
That's the thing. If Tilt can hold on till late game and try and farm up a little bit better than what they have been, big rotation coming through. Chappy might be in a bit of trouble. He's half health already using that dive bomb. There's that World Weaver and the Defender of Olympus coming down through space and time. Not coming through just at this point. Chappy just gets clipped by that Spirit Arrow, and Chappy falls down to Dozen Pegasus, and now Zutra again might be in some trouble. Chased down by the 2 members here. Pegasus should be able to find the kill here. Doesn't go through the portal just yet, and there's a good taunt, but he falls down in the meantime to Dozen Pegasus, and Panic might be also turned on in a second here. No mana for Pegasus, just has enough there for that Feather Step, and there's an unstable Vortex, and Tilt have turned a fight around.
That's exactly what Tilt need right now, to pick up a fight like that, like caught Chappy out for one, and then getting mid farm. Look for the red buff here. Like, there's no one like there. You saw 2 members in solo lane. Sure, they took your tier 1 tower, but that's a free red buff. At least check it.
Yeah, and the tier 1 tower did fall in that right hand side solo lane. Ula and Biz just back in time, but Biz might be in a bit of trouble. He has 4 members rotating on, staying and hugging that right wall. Pegasus has very low mana here, gets knocked up, the ultimate not coming through just yet. There's that feather step, taken down to about half health, and the unstable vortex just manages to find him. But that's a tanky Bologna who already has breastplate online, and you won't be catching Bizcool just too soon.
Really good composure there by Biz, not using his Roma and Victor or anything to get out. He just kind of walked away from the whole team. It also shows the kind of new mindset of this team where they just got a lot of kills and they were really hypey about it. Let's go look for more. Like, let's not farm. Let's
not farm. Yeah, they really could have looked to clear out whatever there was left of the jungle, maybe try to push up a few more waves. Again, Chappie looking aggressive to go onto Shade under that tower. He's been there the entire game, really, just lurking around, and Chappie still looking, he has his whole team. He could be in a bit of an engagement. There's that mark coming through. And in the back line, it gets a nice ultimate there. Looking to go onto the members here. Panic uses that Searing Pain and finds almost a double kill onto Russian Ranger, but gets cleaned up by Zutra, who uses that long-range basic attack passive to get an easy kill. And now, once again, he might be in a bit of trouble. Oh, that's an easy kill there for all. And the Suns come down to find a kill, but Chappie falls down in the meantime to Super Rocketeer. He's looking aggressive in that big baby form. There's that defender of Olympus coming down. And the rest of Citadel are just, again, looking to clear away that jungle. The Gold Fury spawning in a second here. They could get that tier 1 tower and also go for Gold Fury. And that's exactly what their plan is. Ula and Panic pushing up that mid lane while that tier 1 in left is actually being pushed down.
That was perfect timing for the fight to go that well. Like, tier 1 tower, they could look for gold here, although they shouldn't. That would be a bit greedy. But the wombo combos and just everything about that team fight was just so clean on the side of Citadel. Other than Chappie getting soloed in the background by Vermana. Like, what are you doing, Chappie? But, you know, it's
but in mid lane though, Shade finds a kill onto Ula, and that's a 3-man bludgeon stacked up onto Dozen. Pegasus Zutra looking for a 3-man taunt here. Does manage to find it as well. No Eagles rally coming through. Panic finds another kill with the Searing Pain and cleans up another double kill. And finds that with the Celestial Beam. Russian Ranger forced the belly flop away. And there's the Eagles rally to stop him in his path. The taunt comes through as well. Taken down again is Russian Ranger by the hands of Zutra. As we've said in the picks and bans, Scylla ultimates aren't anything when you compare it to Panic playing Rara and the Searing Pain. The accuracy is just on point for these console players.
Also, the fact that they have an Athena, like, Athena can initiate whenever she wants. And if there's follow-up, like, team should die. It's, I don't want to say it's sad to see, but it just shows how good the team comp is on the side of Citadel, where they fought left hand, like on the left-hand side of your mini-map, got the wombo combo off, didn't even reset. They just went and farmed a bit more, and then they did another wombo combo, and beads were still down on the side of Tilt. Like, that's crazy.
Having a look into the item builds here, 4-2 and 2 is Chappie at this point. Should be looking to finish off Chin Size. And, like, look at the level difference. There's 3 levels between the junglers. There's a level behind the solos, 2 in the ADCs, 5 in the mid lane with the Ra and the Yana, and 4 for the supports. Citadel Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, are showing their dominance. And again, finds a kill onto 8 kill, and the Suns down. There's that defender of Olympus pushing this tier 2 tower. The sprint is popped, looking to find a taunt, but they do manage to just escape. They're still looking. They're not even going for the tier 2. Searing Pain comes through and finds another kill onto the Russian Ranger. And now, again, they're taking this tier 2 tower, but once again, Shade Well Made not doing anything to help his team. Still has the World Weaver online, not even using it defensively. And it's a tier 2. And again, good sash there coming through from Ula, but the beads is good for Pegasus, who manages to escape. And they're pushing this Phoenix here, rock solid.
Good beads there by a Dozen Pegasus, I'll say. You know, got a shout out to Pegasus. But this is crazy how they'll just keep running and there's no retaliation or there's no like disengage on the side of Tilt. Like, you've got to run. Like, you can't be there. That is not your lane anymore.
Tilt can't be affording to push any of this objective that they have. They can't look to push even this slightest lead when they've just had a massive siege and they've all respawned. That the level difference is that high. Even if they look for a fight when they're all about half health on Citadel and half mana, they're going to lose over and over again. And they just need a farm. They can't be splitting up. They need to be defending 5-man, especially at these Phoenixes. And they can't be looking to pressure Citadel while they're just looking to backstep. They need to be just farming, trying to stay in looking for late game to try and get Shade well made to level 20 with that core build on the Neath. Looking for XQ to also be doing a lot of damage. Vamana is going to be doing a lot late game, especially because you won't be able to take him out. But I don't think they can even last that long, Rothel.
No, I don't think so. I actually predict this game ending pretty quickly with the amount of sieging that Citadel have been doing, and with a VAR, you can just push any lanes you want to. With a grouping mid, they're trying to take tier 1 mid tower.
They can't be doing this. They cannot be doing this at all. There's a beat coming through on the Shade well made. Ula actually misses the ultimate there and also gets cleaned up there by Pegasus with that in-hand basic. And now looking to go on to Russian Ranger and doesn't. There's another stun coming through from Chappy. Physical finds that kill with the Scourge, and in the backline, Russian Ranger still all by himself falls down to Zutra, who's 4-1 on the Athena. Shoutouts to Zutra. And now again, they're looking to siege. They're looking to invade and deny any of the farm once again. And now they are trying to take away this tier 2 tower in the left lane. You could pretty much call Citadel the pandemonium of console. That's all they do. They're just denying the farm, trying to take away as much as they can, and then just siege after siege after siege.
Yeah, I do see the similarity in the playstyles there. Taking all the farm on the map, like knowing that when they can and when they can't. Also taking objectives, like it's very good. They have a good comp for it as well, but they also have a really good mindset about when to take objectives, when to team fight, and when to get picks.
Once again, Shade well made, split pushing the tower. Hasn't been doing too much for his team. I want to actually take a look here into the total damage, if I can find it. Yeah, Neath sitting very, very low on the bottom. Giannis as well, actually very, very close to the bottom as well. Only doing about 5k damage, and now XQ might be in a bit of trouble. Force the portal away.
With play damage, like looking at it, look at Chappy, it's nearly 10k.
Yeah,
like,
nearly 10k.
Crazy. Doubling
the ADC of Tilt. And that's where the big difference is. Just Chappy just going absolutely ham on that Hoi Yi.
I'll say Zutra's actually playing pretty aggressive, and Tilt are too scared to like pick him out. I know it'll be hard to pick him out, but if you do it, because he's up there like just in their face constantly with no one around him, Tilt's got to take those opportunities and like somehow get themselves back in the game.
19 minutes in, they've actually got 6 kills on the board for Tilt now before they had just 0. Finishing off a lot of their core items now. Neath has finished off the Asai and that Iqbal. Right side, we do see the through space and time coming through, but not sure what it was for though. It wasn't to get anyone over on that side of the map, because no one went through the portals.
Disengage call. They were a bit worried. They finally got a blue buff, by the way, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, 19 minutes in, yeah.
Okay, I see someone from Citadel, please get me out of here.
And now the tier 2 in right. Oh, good stun there coming through from Chappy. Oh my gosh,
wow.
Panic over the wall finds another searing pain. This guy has hit every single ultimate this game. Panic the god himself.
Panic, you need to calm down, man. Like, miss at least once, maybe? Like, it's crazy. Zutra getting stunned, but in the Rahil, one tick.
Wait, Fizz soloed in mid under a Phoenix with 2 people there. Again, Shade well made gets cleaned up by the taunt and the Ricochet combo. And now Biz looking for another kill. Down goes the Wheelish and almost gets away there. Ula manages to find it with the ring toss under the tower, looking for Russian Ranger, but does escape. Right side Phoenix, mid lane Phoenix falls down. Russian Ranger being taunted in by Zutra, and it's a clean stop there. Chappy finds a deer side, and Citadel Gaming looking to close out the first game here. Defender of Olympus and the Suns are coming down. That should be game number 1 here in a second. About 35% HP. The big baby trying to do as much as he can to try and clear it away, but again, it's going to be Panic cleaning up the game with a searing pain. I am not overstating this. He has hit every single ultimate this game. Not over exaggerating that. Every single raw roll in a 20-minute game. How many times can you say that?
I'd say probably once, because it's only week 2. But you know, give him time.
True.
Give him time, and he might hit it. Like, he might miss a bit more. Hopefully throughout the season, get away his godlikeness. But I want to give a quick shout out to Zutra, who did 54k, no.
54k on
5.4k play damage. That's more than Giannis and Neath individually. Like,
oh no.
That's not what you really want to see on the side of Tilt. Like, Zutra did more damage than the carriers on the side of Tilt. So no damage actually came out from Tilt at all, I'll say.
Tilt really need to rethink their strategy, especially going into the next game. And it isn't the draft. They actually drafted a fairly strong team. They had a very strong synergizing comp, which we talked about. So their drafting phase is good. They just need to really implement that into their gameplay. Moving into game number 2 in a second, guys. We'll be back in a second. Make sure you guys stay tuned.